Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, has faced intense scrutiny over her perceived detachment from the public, with many critics claiming she is unrelatable due to her luxurious lifestyle, high-profile marriage to Prince Harry, and outspoken political views. Over the years, these accusations have followed her through interviews, public appearances, and media coverage, often painting her as a figure of privilege and elitism. However, Markle has repeatedly defended her position and pushed back against these criticisms with pointed remarks about the complexity of identity, her own lived experience, and the role of public perception in shaping how women in the public eye are received. At the core of these critiques is the juxtaposition of Markle's relatively humble beginnings as an actress on a popular television series and her current life as a member of the British royal family, then later as a high-profile figure in Hollywood, involved in a range of charity work, business ventures, and media projects. This stark contrast between her past and present is often highlighted as proof of her supposed inability to relate to the everyday struggles of ordinary people. Yet, Markle's response to these accusations is rooted in a broader narrative about what it means to be relatable and how society constructs and deconstructs the concept of authenticity. In various interviews, Markle has emphasized her belief that true relatability comes from the ability to connect on a deeper level, beyond material wealth or social status. Her life, she argues, is shaped by universal experiences, from challenges with self-worth to navigating complex relationships, which resonate with people regardless of their background. Her argument centers on the idea that everyone, even those who appear to live extraordinary lives, faces personal battles, and these struggles form the true fabric of relatability. Markle has been particularly vocal about how public perceptions of her have been shaped by gendered expectations. She has discussed the ways in which women, particularly those in public roles, are often criticized for being either too accessible or not accessible enough. The scrutiny around her personal choices, her expressions of vulnerability, and her advocacy for mental health have all been framed in a way that suggests she is trying to appear more authentic than she truly is. Markle has challenged this narrative, asserting that her openness about her struggles, such as her mental health challenges, the pressures of being thrust into the royal spotlight, and the racism she has faced, are not attempts at self-aggrandizement but rather efforts to create a more honest and open conversation about difficult topics. One of Markle's most pointed critiques of her detractors is the way in which they often ignore the complexity of her background. She has often spoken about growing up as a mixed-race woman in America, a reality that shaped her identity in ways that many people fail to appreciate. This experience, she suggests, has influenced her views on race, privilege, and access in ways that might make her seem less relatable to those who do not share her experiences, but also more relatable to those who do. Markle's identity as a biracial woman has played a significant role in her public persona, both in terms of her philanthropic work and the personal battles she has faced in the public eye. The struggles that come with being a woman of color in a predominantly white institution, such as the British royal family, have often been framed as central to her narrative, providing a basis for her personal and professional choices. Despite the immense wealth and luxury that now surround her, Markle's critics tend to overlook the efforts she has made to connect with people from different walks of life. Her philanthropic endeavors, such as her work with various charities that focus on women's empowerment, mental health, and social justice, underscore her desire to use her platform for good. Furthermore, her willingness to share her experiences, whether it be through her podcast Archetypes, her interviews with media outlets, or her autobiography The Bench, speaks to a desire to break down barriers and encourage others to speak their truths as well. Her response to the critique of being unrelatable is not just about defending her life choices, but about challenging a societal mindset that often reduces people to oversimplified categories based on external factors like wealth, status, or fame. Markle's critics also point to her decision to step back from royal duties as evidence of her detachment from the concerns of ordinary people. However, Markle has reframed this decision as an act of self-preservation and empowerment, allowing her to have greater control over her narrative and impact. In a world where the expectations of royalty and public figures are immense and often unrealistic, her decision to carve out her own path has been seen by some as a brave act of reclaiming agency. Her move to the United States with Prince Harry, away from the stifling restrictions of royal life, has allowed them to pursue philanthropic and creative endeavors that reflect their personal values and interests. Her openness about the challenges she has faced within the royal family has been met with mixed reactions, with some claiming that her departure was an attempt to escape responsibility or to avoid the realities of royal life. Others, however, see it as a necessary step toward finding a more authentic way of living. Markle has consistently emphasized that her decision to step back from the royal spotlight was not about rejecting her heritage or responsibilities, but about being able to operate on her terms, in a way that would allow her to live a more fulfilling and purposeful life. This, too, challenges the notion that being relatable means conforming to traditional expectations and sacrificing personal happiness. The media's portrayal of Markle as unrelatable has also been shaped by her interactions with the press, which have often been antagonistic and unfair. Markle's decision to speak out against the toxic dynamics between the royal family and the press has painted her as both a victim and an activist, but also as someone who refuses to conform to traditional royal expectations. Her public rebukes of the media's intrusive tactics and misinformation campaigns have resonated with many people who feel similarly exploited or misrepresented by the press, adding a layer of relatability that is often overlooked in mainstream narratives. Moreover, the constant comparisons between Markle and other members of the royal family, particularly her sister-in-law Kate Middleton, have further fueled these accusations of being out of touch. Some commentators have attempted to position Markle as the rebellious and misunderstood Duchess, while painting Kate as the perfect royal who fits seamlessly into the British monarchy. These contrasting portrayals often leave Markle in a position where she must constantly defend her identity, her choices, and her very right to exist outside the expectations placed on her. Despite this, Markle has maintained that she does not seek approval from anyone but rather wants to live in alignment with her values, which includes championing causes that matter to her and speaking candidly about the challenges she has faced. In response to the ongoing narrative that she is unrelatable, Markle has continued to highlight the importance of empathy, understanding, and shared human experiences.